Welcome to the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Coming up, DLP Administration committed to improving healthcare services. The Ministry of Tourism aims to take advantage of the yachting sector, and the DSC equips Dominica's youth for the job market. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this. Thanks for staying with us. The Roosevelt Administration is committed to improving healthcare services to its citizens. Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt confirmed this on Thursday evening on Focus on Government and Development radio program on DBS Radio with Mervyn Paul.
We have to come to a state where we can provide the best care possible anywhere in the world, notwithstanding the fact that we are a developing country, to the public. Now, the government's responsibility is to provide a facility. So we're doing so with the help of the government of China. We're also providing the medical professionals. And as what you've seen, Mervyn, we've been doing is that we've been sending a number of doctors to the postgraduate studies. This is all part of a strategy. You know, we've been also sending nurses to do specialized training in particular nursing disciplines.
The Honorable Prime Minister says his administration will do what it takes to increase the range of services provided at the island's medical facilities.
So yes, you will have a new hospital, but what kind of service are we going to be providing to the citizens? Yes, the government will buy new equipment and even equipment that we never had. We will buy those things, the MRI and all those things. We're committed to putting those things in place. Because what we would like to see, Mervyn, is either a reduction in the number of our patients who have to go to other countries to seek medical care. I've had to deal with too many of our cancer patients having to go to Guyana and other countries for post-cancer surgery treatment. You know, at this stage, all people are supposed to get as many of the services in health care in our country as possible. Can the government do it alone? The simple answer to this is no. The government is a partner in the process, but we have to ensure that all those persons, those people who are charged with a particular responsibility within that system recognize his or her national duty.
The Dominica leader indicated that everything is in place for the commencement of construction of the new state-of-the-art hospital.
We have in fact completed all of the matters relating to the administrative natures for the commencement of the hospital. Meaning, we have signed the agreement with China. We contracted. The Chinese government has issued a contract. We have signed an agreement. You have seen in the public signing by the Minister for Health. All of the supplemental agreements have been signed, and we're ready to go. The Minister of Health had a very constructive meeting with the medical professionals, the doctors and the nurses, and I believe that they've been put into different working groups to look at different aspects of the hospital, and particularly with regards to the provision of services while the hospital is under construction. And
in other news, the Dominica State College is on a mission to equip and certify young Dominicans wishing to pursue careers in the vocational field. On Friday, the DSC's Department of Continuing Education launched its CARICOM Education for Employment CEFE Youth Skills Development Pre-Technology Project. Director of Continuing Education at the DSC, Merrill Matthew, explains.
The program comprises 5 elements. There is bartending, there is landscaping, there's housekeeping, and there is facility maintenance. But in addition to that, we have a life skills component, because we believe that even for persons with skills, they need some basic skills to strengthen and support them in life skills. So life skills for us includes things like customer service, numeracy skills, how to start a computer, how to work on a computer, how to search the internet. All of these we see as skills that are absolutely necessary for life, which the participants may not have.
President of the Dominica State College, Dr. Donald Peters, says the role of the college is to educate the entire nation and not only those who have achieved what the system considers academic success.
We are a national college, and our business is to provide all citizens with the skills they require to come to college, or to develop a skill that can enable them to make a living comfortably and raise a family. And that is what economic development is. The rest of the world have recognized that our system of educating 29,000 students to all get CXCs and go on to be lawyers and doctors cannot work. It doesn't work. So our partners here from around the world and Dominica State College have also recognized that. And that is why we're all here today. And I want to thank all our partners, every one of them who are working with us to move Dominica forward.
The program is designed to target Dominica's youth aged 15 to 29.
We are particularly interested in youth who have 3 CXs or less, preferably no CXs. Why? Because people with 4 CXs have access to many things in Dominica. They have access to the college, they have access to BTC, they have access to many places. It is those without CXCs, as Dr. Peter said, the little Johnnies, who have nothing to show. And we are thinking that they're not intelligent. These are the people we want to capture in this program and let them showcase themselves as people with knowledge, skills, and positive attitudes.
The first course of the project will run for 12 weeks from January 18th. 60 participants will be trained in landscaping and hospitality. The second course will begin in June of this year. Matthew says it is a pilot project and continuity will depend on the success of the first 2 modules. He says although at the end of the program, participants will receive a full Caribbean Vocational Qualification, CVQ, elements of CVQ competence will be incorporated in the program and participants will be certified for the workforce.
They will be developing portfolios. All the work that they do in the program will be put in a folder, and that folder will be sent to St. Vincent for assessment of CVQ. Why so? Dominica is not yet approved by CARICOM to deliver CVQs. We are on the way. We're going to move towards that, but we're not there yet, and so we are going to one of our sister Caribbean islands to do the assessment for us.
The program is funded primarily by the Government of Canada. In more news, government consultant Luce of International Consulting Management Limited says the issue of pricing is one that will be addressed following a January 6 consultation with stakeholders. The consultation sought to develop a draft policy to assist with the operations of the National Abattoir.
Pricing is something that is based on productivity, cost of input, several factors, what consumers are willing to pay for or will not pay for. So we have to take into consideration all of these issues to come up with a price that the market will absorb, a price that the farmer will be happy about, a price that the distributors, that will induce the distributors to take supplies from Mr. Etienne, a price that the consumers are prepared to pay for rather than buying the imported, in the case of chicken, the poor quality imported chicken. All of those factors have to be taken into consideration in coming up with a price that the market is happy with, and the market includes the farmer and all of these people.
The consultant revealed that there is a considerable market for meat in Dominica.
The findings reveal that there is a market, for a sizable market for meat, based on, we did not even look at the local production figures, just looking at the imports of frozen chicken, frozen pork, fresh pork, and salted meat, and even beef, because we specifically looking at pork and chicken. However, your market should be, in the long term, your market should be the meat market, because you could shift consumer preference from consumption of beef to your pork or your chicken. It's meat, it's a meat. So our statistics, we are even looking at the statistics on meat imports, and that revealed that there is a market looking at imports only, ranging from 16.6 million to 17.8 million between 2007 and 2013. So we could safely say it's a market that amounts to about 16.5 million a year.
She notes that after identifying a market and addressing the issue of pricing, a vision is the next step.
Every business must have a vision, as I said. So we have come up with considerations for a vision, a mission, the guiding principles, which is your philosophy. Yes, you have your vision, you have your mission, but your philosophy about life, about something, what you will do and what you will not do. That is very important in determining your action plan and how you go forward, your strategy. So we are coming up with considerations for that.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
It is time to break the silence. Child abuse is one secret you should not keep. For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Tourism intends to take a full advantage of the yachting sector in Dominica. That's according to Permanent Secretary Gerard Jajac. Jajac says that the ministry is seeking to increase exposure of Dominica to the yachting world.
We started this effort, well, previously, but last November, we added some more impetus to the effort towards advancing the yachting subsector. Because the entire intention is to increase the opportunities for exposure to Dominica, bring more persons into Dominica, and to allow more persons to benefit from tourism. Because when the yachties travel, naturally, wherever they dock, they would need services. That, of course, we can think of food, we can think of entertainment, we can also think of services which you would normally need for boat maintenance, what have you. So that we believe that a vibrant yachting subsector would certainly be one way to bring more persons into Dominica.
Previously, stakeholders met in Dominica to discuss the advancements of the yachting sector. One of the results of that meeting was the conceptualization of a yachting policy.
We are looking, of course, at a broad policy framework for the yachting, for the subsector, which would which would define what it is that we're intending to do, why we want to do it, and of course an action plan which would show how we intend to achieve these objectives. That policy would be the overarching framework. There's no time frame at this point because we're working very closely with Dr. Ishmael, and there has to be a dialogue on that.
Jajac describes some of the measures that will be implemented within that policy.
One critical element of the policy would be standards. Standards is critical to the tourism sector, period. So that the issue of how do we, what is the approach we take towards welcoming the yachties? What is the what is the customs, the location for the custom officers, the training for the yachties, the yachties, I'm sorry, for the boaties. The boaties are those who they ride alongside the yachts and they offer services to the yachties. The yachties are the ones who own the yachts and they come along. So in that policy, I believe you'll see the effort towards training and establishing standards for the sector, and ways in which we're going to work with those in the sector to ensure that these standards are adhered to.
Currently, the ministry is working to develop a mooring field in Portsmouth and is considering one at the Newtown area, among others.
Newtown is also an area which we have recorded as attractive to yachties, but we're also looking at broader picture of how is it that we could explore areas such as Meru and the Soufriere Court said area, which is a very sensitive area, but we believe that Dominica being the nature island as it is, we believe that we can actually truly coexist with tourism, bringing in persons, as well as protecting nature.
Director of Tourism and CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority, DDA, Colin Piper, who was also at that press briefing, gave us some positive statistics on yachting tourism.
We have some figures full year 2015 for Portsmouth where we show 8,243 visitors, which is a 2.4% decline from the previous year. And in terms of vessels, 2,003 vessels, which is an 8.5% decline from 2014. And when you look at Roseau, we have figures through September, and that shows the visitors at 3,932, which is a 33.6% growth from the previous year. And when you look at the vessels, 968, which is a 70.7% growth from the previous year. So if we were to total that up and look at preliminary figures so far through September for Roseau and through December for Portsmouth, we have 12,175 visitors, which is a 0.3% growth over the previous year. And in terms of vessels, 2,971, which is a 1.8% growth from the previous year. So just to put it in perspective, in addition to the 81,533 stay-over visitors that we would have had, you would now have to add those figures for yachties to that, because when we deliver the stay-over visitors, we do not include yachties in that.
He notes that the DDA has always been an active supporter of the yachting industry.
We have always been in partnership with the PAYS, in terms of supporting them for trade shows. For the last 3 years, we've supported personnel from PAYS to go to trade shows where they can meet with the people that put together yachting itineraries and make sure that Dominica is included as a destination. So those trade shows have taken place in Fort Lauderdale, also in Baltimore, and also in Antigua. The Baltimore trade show was part of an OECS initiative, which we are a party to, and very soon this year we'll be supporting personnel from PAYS to go to Germany, to go to what is considered the preeminent water sports and yachting trade show in Europe, and that is in Dusseldorf, Germany.
Piper is encouraging all stakeholders to continue to work hard to further develop the yachting sector. Plans are well underway for the hosting of the 2015 concert this weekend by the Acute Psychiatric Unit of the Princess Margaret Hospital. According to organizers, the annual event continues to attract increasing numbers of patrons, and this year is expected to be no different.
You shall hear some really vibrant music, vibrant singing, amazing poems. I don't want to speak about the Calypsonians first, because before Calypsonians you have the really big actors, and the big actors are the patients. They are songsters, they are poets, they can act, they know how to make you smile. They're very good at what they do. And then you have the Calypsonians that come on to support us. You have Colton T, you have Dice, you also have other acts like Cicero Singers.
The objective of the concert is to continue to reduce the stigma associated with persons suffering from mental illnesses.
When persons think about mental illness, first thing that comes to their head is crazy people. But as I always say, I don't know any crazy people. I know persons who suffer with mental illness. I know persons who suffer with diabetes. I know persons who suffer with Alzheimer's. So mental illness is no different. So we have it so persons can see that you and I'm here, and you say that I'm well, I speak well. But I could have a mental illness. I'm just taking my medication. I'm following up with my doctor. I have strong family support. So we have it so the community can know, even if you suffer with a mental illness, there's still dignity. You're still a person. You're still a mother. You're still a father. You're still a doctor. You're still a psychiatrist. You're still an occupational therapist.
Medical doctor at the APU, Dr. Gilda Nesty, believes that the annual event is very important for mentally ill patients.
In terms of my interaction with the patients, when I receive a patient, the patient is at their worst most times. That's when they are acutely ill. And a lot of the patients have been witnessed in that capacity. You see them on the streets when they are unstable. Some of them, if you can remember, you see them walking the streets naked, talking to themselves, or engaging in what we call quote-unquote abnormal behavior. So that is how we receive the patients, and that is how most of the public see the patients when they are ill. But the concert allows them to display another to display themselves in another capacity. It allows them to showcase their talents. It allows the general public to see that although they carry the burden of mental illness, they can actually exist in different capacities, and they do have talents that they are willing to showcase.
Sunday's concert begins at 4:30 p.m. And before we leave, here's one announcement. The High Court of Justice of the Commonwealth of Dominica will begin its sitting for the trial of criminal causes on Tuesday, January 12, 2016 at 10:30 a.m. at the High Court Bayfront Roseau with arraignment of accused persons. And that's the English news. Next is Creole Highlights with McPherson St. Luce.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, State College Dominica conduit un programme civic TVET qui a jeunesse qui pas taper éducation académique. Programme ça là qui a commencé le 15 janvier pour mois de mars, lancé jeudi. Monsieur Merrill Matthew, c'est Director Continuing Studies, State College Dominica.
Programme là nous avons lancé jeudi. C'est un programme là nous avons target moun qui pas à CCXC pour entrer en collège et bien pour entrer en travail Dominique. Comme ça, Dominique nous avons toujours gardé pour 4 CXC pour entrer collège et bien 4 CXC pour entrer job en civil service. Il y a tant de monde, jeunes monde qui pas 4 CXC. Qui pas ni 3 CXC, qui pas ni 2, qui pas ni rien. C'est jeunes monde ça, ni en place à la nation nous. C'est jeunes monde ça, ni pour trapper place pour faire une contribution pour développer Dominique. Comme ça, Dominica State College a offert ces jeunes monde ça un programme pour il y a 4 courses à un programme. Nous avons offert landscaping, nous avons offert housekeeping, nous avons offert maintenance et puis nous avons offert un massage à 4.
Selon M. Matthew, chaque course qui facilite 15 étudiants.
En chacun de ces courses-là, nous avons 15 personnes. Pour qui 15 puis on parle trop de monde, puis si on est trop de monde, lecturer là passe à coach assez. Comme ça, où les 15 monde, lecturer qui a temps pour travailler avec eux, ça nous a créé en l'air.
En d'autres nouvelles, le département de santé a avisé le public contre Zika virus qui a causionné par Mangouin et les Égyptiens. Parole Salah, sorti le chef du département Salah, M. Anthony Scotland.
Après, nous avons regardé on dit en visuel qui est Zika. Zika, c'est une qualité maladie qui plaît par Mangouin qui est et les Égyptiens. Non, à Dominique, et les Égyptiens, ils tout partout. Mais ils peuvent caillou. Ils peuvent rester éveillés. En un caillou. Sur tout le bagage qu'on flavors, bien taillé, on y a jumps. C'est jumps dans le cabine de gloire là. Nous avons qui water jumps. So water, c'est water jumps là. Ça c'est ça y est qui au continent qui plein malgré ça
Scotland ni avi pour public là.
Dominique nous a dit you need to change one kayo net. You need to change lac yo net. Ebe you pani pour ni pièce qualité bagay qui sa chivel glue. Puis mango ça yo I aime glue qui net. Ebe so mango qui tellement savant. Il ka actually mettre il ka mettre zey. A dit de c'est quand des conteneurs ça qui les yo cherche. Ebe la plutôt be ou mettre glue dans conteneur là. Mango la même ka il plepe qui acheve il vini con on go mango. So nous ka dit Dominique Zika il y a wijola il peut nous il y a Matnik il y a Central America et South America pays comme Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina pile union pile qui ça a dit ces pays ça et ouais si vous regardez map là ou que ouais Dominique on dit dans mi-temps Caraïbes et ben nous a dit Dominique nous ne pour tout pour question tout ça des mesures pour empêcher Zika migrer ça spread disease ça Dominique.
La nouvelle département pour abusement drogue qu'a fait parole comment yo bien concerné ne gagnon qui emballage qui a consommé alcool. Parole cela sorti coordinateur département cela madame Jacinta Bernes. Département là qui a observé mois de janvier comme mois pour mettre attention à ces abusement drogue et puis alcool.
Ces bagages ça nous les garder compte et puis pour faire mon savent nous pas parler contre drogue but warm là puis le monde plus moun ka boire warm parce que ka fumer cocaine et marijuana et puis damage là sexual violence sexual abuse domestic violence au l'autant monde qui dit c'est warm là qui fait ça but so ça c'est qualité pour l'année ça nous ka regarder compte vous savez underage drinking pour faire jeune moun ça pas manière pour y aller.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles à Creole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Bon week-end. Au revoir.
Coming up, we'll tell you how much exercise you really need on our tip of the day. Exercise is an important weight loss tool, but how much you need varies from person to person. The guidelines recommend at least 250 minutes per week, which comes out to about 50 minutes 5 days a week. If you are a beginner, start small. For example, with 3 days of cardio for 15 to 30 minutes, gradually adding time each week to give your body time to adapt. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm Kerdisha. Thanks for watching and do have yourself a great weekend.